Boy Scout Troop 88 will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag.
Courthouse. Present the colors. Will the audience please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. I'd like to welcome everyone to the February 2016 Blount County Board of Commissioners meeting, and I'd like to offer my apologies to Reverend Jones and to the members of Troop 88 for the other meeting butting up against this one, and we appreciate you being here and your kind words this evening. At this time, if you would give your attention to the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by the way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you've reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building. Quickly proceed away from the building. Be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles. At this time, would the members register your presence by voting yes, please? Commissioner Aker, Commissioner Carver.
We have 19 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. The chair will now stand for a motion to set the agenda. Commissioner Bowers moves to set. Commissioner Lewis seconds. The motion is to set the agenda as published. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to set the agenda. Vote no not to set the agenda. Commissioner Stinnett, please, sir.
Yes, 2 absent.
The agenda is set for tonight's meeting. The next item is item B, the consent calendar. The chair will stand for a motion to approve the consent calendar. Commissioner Caskey moves. Commissioner Hedrick, is that correct? Seconds. The motion is to approve the consent calendar. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to approve the consent calendar. Vote no not to approve the consent calendar.
We have 19 yes, 2 absent.
19 yes, 2 absent. The consent calendar is approved. The next item of business is item C, public input on items on tonight's agenda. Seeing no hands, the next item of business is item D1A, confirmation of the Commission's appointment to the Board of Zoning Appeals. The Chair will stand for a motion to confirm the appointment of the Honorable Joe Everett to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Commissioner Bowers moves. Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Carver seconds. The question is to confirm the appointment of the Honorable Joe Everett to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to confirm the appointment. Vote no not to confirm the appointment.
With 18 yes, 1 no, and 2 absent.
18 yes, 1 no. The appointment is confirmed. The next item of business is D1B, confirmation of the Commission's appointment to the Sheriff's Merit Board. The Chair will stand for a motion to confirm the appointment of Danny Gallion to the Sheriff's Merit Board. Commissioner French moves. Commissioner Sample seconds. The question is to confirm the appointment of Danny Gallion to the Sheriff's Merit Board. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to confirm the appointment. Vote no not to confirm.
We have 16 yes, 1 no, 2 abstain, 2 absent.
16 yes, 1 no, 2 abstain. The appointment is confirmed. There's no business under item E. The next item of business is F1. The Chair will stand for a motion on item F1, Resolution 1602-006, to amend the general fund budget by $1,300.
Mr. Chairman, I would move item F1, 2, and 3, since all of those are court items.
Commissioner Samples moves agenda items F1, 2, and 3. Is there a second? Second. That second was by Commissioner Kaler. Okay, the motion is to adopt resolutions 1502-006, 1602-007, 1602-008. Discussion. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to divide the question.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to divide by Monroe, seconded by Commissioner Miller. Motion to divide is not debatable. If you're in favor of dividing the question, vote yes. If you're opposed to dividing the question, vote no.
We have 6 yes, 13 no, 2 absent.
6 yes, 13 no. The motion to divide fails. The pending motion is to adopt resolutions 1602-006, 007, and 008. Commissioner Miller, you're recognized.
Oh.
Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a general comment on F2. It's probably a good thing. However, this was not brought before the Blount County Corrections Partnership. It's really a shame. I've been wanting to meet with Recovery Court for quite some time, and finally at the last meeting, I requested that they come to our next meeting and speak. It's really a shame that it's taken this long in the process to actually hear from Recovery Court. It would have been nice to have heard more about this, but I'm concerned about the grant contract. The way it reads, I realize there's some discussion in the packet, and I do appreciate that. But, you know, federal grants come with strings attached, and Is this all there is to the grant contract? One-page form? Okay, if there's nobody here, is there anyone here from Recovery Court that could answer that? Okay, thank you.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to adopt Resolution 160206, 160207, 160208. If you're in favor, if you're in favor of adopting, vote yes. If you're opposed to adopting, vote no.
Yes, 2 no, and 2 absent.
17 yes, 2 no, 2 absent. The resolutions are adopted. The next item of business is F4. The chair will stand for a motion on item F4. Resolution 1602-009 to amend the general fund budget by $250,000. Commissioner Carver moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Caskey seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-009. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the November 2015 Blount County Corrections Partnership meeting, the sheriff said that it cost $2.50 to $3 a day to feed the inmates. I asked Captain Adams in the jail for the daily average inmate count for 2015. It was 528. The current appropriation for food in the budget is $430,000. The $250,000 will bring that total to $680,000. At $3 a day with an average daily population of 528, that would cost $579,744 with an extra day for the leap year. At $2.50 a day, that would the cost would be $483,120. Both of these figures are less than what the additional cost request would be. If this will just get us through the year, as was stated at the Budget Committee, then it is clearly costing us more than $2.50 to $3 a day to feed the inmates. We should reduce our risk in the jail by reducing the number of inmates. The state may reduce the population soon because it's opening a state facility. At at 500 inmates per day at $3 a day, that cost would be $549,000. Therefore, I move to strike $250,000 and replace it with $119,000.
I have a motion to amend the resolution striking 250, insert 119,000 by Commissioner Monroe. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Miller seconds. The pending motion is to amend Resolution 1602-009 by striking 250,000 and inserting 119,000. Commissioner Daly, you're recognized on the motion to amend.
Okay, I wanted to ask why this wasn't in their budget for food. I mean, this makes it sound like they don't have enough money to last the year for food.
Is there a member of the Blount County Sheriff's Department here? I don't see any of the chief deputies.
No, I mean, so we can only assume that this money came from the federal prisoners fund, maybe?
The chair cannot assume anything.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The chair makes no assumptions.
Okay.
I was asking if the Blount County Sheriff's Department was represented tonight. I don't see anyone.
Well, it said it was from federal funds, so I couldn't imagine anything else. I just don't understand why they would not have it in their regular jail budget for food. That's all.
Commissioner, If you recall, there was a renegotiation of the contract with the U.S. Marshal's Office. I believe this $250,000 is a recognition of new revenue. I will recognize Mr. Vineyard if he could
New revenue.
shed some light on the revenue side. Mr. Vineyard.
The proposal before you is to increase the appropriation side of the sheriff's budget for food for inmates. The proposal to pay for that, or the offset, is to recognize the fact that we will receive an additional $250,000 in federal inmate reimbursement.
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard. Commissioner Daly, you still have the floor.
Okay, so, well, the sheriff had said before that he was taking in federal prisoners to help the taxpayer. And this doesn't address either the $1 million set aside for the jail improvements. I just wish there was someone here that could tell us how much they take in for federal prisoners in a year.
Okay, on the motion to amend. Motion to amend is on the floor. Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to amend Resolution 1602-009 by striking $250,000 and inserting $119,000. If you're in favor of the amendment, vote yes. If you're opposed to the amendment, vote no.
You have 4 yes, 15 no, 2 absent.
4 yes, 15 no. The motion to amend fails. The pending motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-009. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt the resolution.
You have 16 yes, 3 no, 2 absent.
16 yes, 3 no. The resolution is adopted. The next item of business is item F5. The chair will stand for a motion on item F5, Resolution 1602-010, to amend the general fund budget by $171,451.56. Commissioner Stinnett moves agenda items F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Second.
Commissioner Melton seconds. The pending motion is to adopt the resolutions contained within agenda items F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On page 53 in our packet, the letter from the Secretary of State references 2 grants. One was for $1,550 to the Register of Deeds. The other is $7,000 to the Blount County Archives. We're being asked to vote on 2 grants, but there's actually references in our packet to 3. Why are we not voting on the $1,550? Related to
Are they contained in the resolutions that are part of tonight's business?
the $7,000 is not, no, the $1,550 is not, but the documentation in the paperwork supporting the $7,000 grant references a Register of Deeds grant for $1,550. Why are we not presented with that at the same time? That would be a question for the finance director, or maybe for the Register of Deeds, since she's here tonight.
But my question is, the items that were approved for tonight's agenda are all contained in the resolutions.
Yes.
Nothing more can be added to the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Right, but I would
outside
like,
those
why are we
resolutions.
having to approve one grant from the secretary? Let me rephrase that then, to the finance director. Why are we being asked to approve one of the Secretary of State's grants, but not the other?
Because the body chose not to bring it up tonight. If it's not in tonight's agenda, then we can't take it up.
Are we going to be presented with this at a later date? The Secretary of
If
State's.
someone sponsors a resolution and puts it before the Budget Committee and then takes it to the Agenda Committee, the answer would be yes.
Okay, I got an email that the Secretary of State's coming to town for these grant presentations. Is that for the one in the packet as well? Are they going to present the grant before we vote on it?
I can't answer that question.
Could the finance director answer that question?
It wouldn't be an appropriate question because it's not addressing tonight's business.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Then let me see. All right, F10. In our packet, we're being asked to vote to accept the CSX funds for the Highway Department. Obviously, I don't have any problem with that, other than I want to know why we are just now voting on it when it was received in November.
Mr. Vineyard, is it a fact that it was received in November?
Yes, sir. That's when we had the money, and when we asked the highway department when they would like to bring it to before the body for the increasing their appropriation, they said that this time.
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard.
Thank you.
The pending motion is to adopt the resolutions contained within agenda items F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you're in favor of adopting those resolutions, vote yes. If you're opposed, Commissioner Monroe, you seek the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have one other question for F5. The overtime, it says in there that, well, there's in the JAG grant, we're responsible for reporting certain things. But with any of these traffic grants, are there any quotas associated with any of these grants? With DUI, saturation patrol, any of that type of stuff, are there any quotas associated? Do we have to satisfy certain numbers?
I don't see a representative here from the Blount County Sheriff's Department. Mr. Vineyard, do you have any knowledge, or would you like to make any comment? Sir?
The answer to the question is no.
Thank you, Mr.
Do you have
Vineyard.
any questions? Okay, thank you.
Are the members ready for the question? Pending motion is to adopt the resolutions contained within agenda items F5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you're in favor of adoption, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no.
I have 17 yes, 2 no, and 2 absent.
17 yes, 2 no, 2 absent. The resolutions are adopted. The next item of business is F11. The chair will stand for a motion on item F11, a request to approve the budget amendment form by updating categories. Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Lewis seconds. The motion is to approve the budget amendment form as attached. Commissioner Daly, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm really happy to see these changes made, but I did have a problem with the last one. Okay, we have the categories transfer, decrease, increase, and then adjustment includes grants and budgetary adjustment. The word budgetary adjustment is a little unclear to me. I would like to take that out and put that, why wouldn't budgetary adjustment be an increase or decrease? That's what I want to ask first.
Mr. Vineyard?
One of the examples I would give you that might fit this category better for this body to understand is if we have someone who we only budgeted or planned for individual health care and their family circumstances changed during the course of the year and they had need for employee only or just the reverse, that is an employee, and we're not going to deny them that coverage because of a life-changing event. So it's an increase to the budget because it's an increase in appropriation, but we're distinguishing that because it's a current employee. And that would differ from us adding a staff person originally that might not be budgeted.
Thank you, Mr. Vineyard. Commissioner Daly, you still have the floor.
So why is that grouped with grants? Because grants wouldn't be anywhere near the same.
Mr. Vineyard, you're recognized.
Well, this is a category, so one additional type of change. Some of our grants we know from year to year and can plan for in the budget. There may be some we apply for after the budget's already adopted, and there may be no match. There are things that come up during the course of the year that are not anticipated at the time the original budget is adopted. The purpose of what we've put in front of you is the Budget Committee thought it would be helpful to this body as a whole because, as each of you know, we've had a number of conversations in this setting where people are, it's unclear as to whether we're budgeting money we don't have or we do have.
Commissioner Daly?
So a budgetary adjustment would always be an increase? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I,
It could be a decrease, transfer, or an increase.
well, how, okay, when it's in this last category, how will we know if it's an increase or a decrease?
Because it will be highlighted and shaded when it goes to...
It's going to be highlighted?
When it goes to the Budget Committee.
Oh, we're going to have different colors for different things?
Mr. Vineyard, you're recognized.
We will try to distinguish it as clearly as we can to help everyone understand, but if this is confusing, we can certainly revert back to the former.
No, I like the new form better, thank you.
Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The example that was given by our finance director sounded more like an increase or a decrease to me. What adjustment, I think budgetary adjustment, I think that would better read corrections to adopted budget due to grant award or reimbursement, like the CSX reimbursement. I'd like to ask the finance director if that would be a more an acceptable alternative. Because an adjustment to me, that wouldn't be an increase in our local use of tax dollars, but it would be a reimbursement from some other outside money to the county.
Mr. Vineyard, you're recognized.
If your description helps this body understand it more clearly, I am receptive to your desires.
Okay, with that, I move to strike budgetary adjustment and replace it with the word reimbursement.
I have a motion to amend the budget amendment request form, striking adjustment, insert reimbursement.
Striking
Yes.
Budgetary adjustment.
Budgetary
A
adjustment.
reimbursement.
Is there a second? Commissioner Miller seconds. The pending motion is the change on the budgetary amendment request is strike adjustment and insert one more time, reimbursement. Discussion. Are the members ready for the question? If you're in favor of the amendment, vote yes. If you're opposed to the amendment, vote no.
Six yes, 12 no, one abstain, two absent.
6 yes, 12 no. The motion to amend fails. The pending motion is to approve the budget amendment form as attached. Commissioner Akert, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Following that vote to clarify the terminology, it looks to me as if this provides an opportunity to put most any budgetary increase in the adjustment category and refrain from describing it as an increase. I believe that transfer, decrease, and increase adequately describe most any accounting term that needs to be there. I have a serious problem with avoiding the word increase in favor of adjustment, especially given the previous meeting where the clarification of budget increase affected my own personal vote on a matter that was clear as mud before we determined that it was in fact a budget increase. I believe eliminating increase from the terminology and allowing adjustment would make it muddier water rather than clear water, and strongly oppose the addition of this opportunity to confuse us even further. Thank you.
Pending motion is to approve the budget amendment form as attached. Deputy Clerk, are you ready now? If you're in favor of approving the budget amendment form, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no.
Yes, 4 no, 2 absent.
15 yes, 4 no, 2 absent. The budget amendment is approved, a form is approved. The next item of business is F12. The chair will stand for a motion on item F12, Resolution 1602-003, to amend the zoning map of Blount County, Tennessee from R2, Rural District 2 to R1, Rural District 1, for property located at 830 Leakwire Road. The property is identified on tax map 106, part of parcel 003.00, specifically the part of the property on the south side of Leakwire Road. Is there a motion? Commissioner French moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Allen seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-003. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt the resolution.
Yes, 6 no, 1 abstain, 2 absent.
12 yes, 6 no, 1 abstain. The resolution is adopted. The next item of business is F13. The chair will stand for a motion on item F13, Resolution 1602-002, classifying the roads of Blount County, Tennessee according to TCA 5410-103 at seek. Commissioner Carver moves. Is there a second? Second is by Commissioner Carter. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-002. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see that we have a representative of the Highway Department. Would it be acceptable to ask him some questions?
It's always acceptable to ask the chair question.
All right, I'll ask the chair. I see several roads have had adjusted length. Could you explain the process of how that's determined?
Mr. Hatcher, you're recognized.
Yeah, we have started using GIS mapping, and in reviewing the GIS mapping results, we found that there were errors in the measurements of some roads in the past, and this is helping to bring those distances in. And sometimes it's a situation where maybe in the past, maybe the city has expanded their area of annexation, and it wasn't picked up for whatever reason in the past, and we're making efforts to bring these situations up to date.
Commissioner Monroe?
Okay, so several of these then, the road actually didn't change. It's
Oh,
just
no.
that you've got more accurate
Commissioner Hatcher.
technology.
Wait.
You just have more accurate technology to measure it?
Mr. Hatcher?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hatcher. Motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-002. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to adopt the resolution. Vote no not to adopt.
Yes, 0 no, 2 absent.
19 yes, 0 no. The resolution is adopted. The next item of business is F14. The chair will stand for a motion on item F14. The request to approve the annual adjustments for the financial assurance agreements for the Alcoa Maryville Blount County landfill. Commissioner Samples moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Carver seconds. The motion is to approve the annual adjustments. Are the members ready for the question? Vote yes to approve the adjustments. Vote no not to approve the adjustments.
Yes, 0 no, 2 absent.
19 yes, 0 no. The annual adjustments are approved. The next item of business is F15. The chair will stand for a motion on item F15, Resolution 1602-004, authorizing the agreement between Blount County, Tennessee and Atmos Energy Corporation for the purpose of granting easements for 2 parcels of land lying off McCammon Avenue, Maryville, Tennessee, pursuant to TCA 57101 and TCA 6526101XC. Commissioner Carver moves. Commissioner Hedrick seconds. The motion is to adopt Resolution 1602-004. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see in here stated that Atmos Energy prepared the easement documents in here. Did the mayor's attorney review this agreement?
Mr. Vineyard or Mayor Mitchell.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Follow-up question. What did it cost the county to review that agreement?
Mayor Mitchell, you're recognized.
I have not seen a bill on what the charge was on that.
Thank you, Mayor.
And how much will we receive if we approve this agreement?
Mayor Mitchell. It's
In this-
stated in the document.
Is it well, I thought that it was, but is it
Yes,
$10?
Mayor Mitchell.
In this agreement right here, I don't believe we receive anything in this. Am I correct?
There is a de minimis amount of consideration.
Yeah.
It's enough just for consideration, if I recall, when it came before the Budget Committee.
Shouldn't we ask that the cost for the attorney to review this be paid by Atmos Energy?
Mayor Mitchell.
This is an unusual situation in the fact that Atmos Energy actually has the gas line on this particular site, and has had that line that went across this piece of property since 1960. What we're trying to do here is just to bring it into compliance where we do have an easement. In 1960, there was no easement agreement that was ever reached with Atmos Energy, and the fact that they are updating their line and putting in a larger gas line to provide better services to the citizens, and the fact that their line had already been there, and we were just trying to get this into compliance to where we did have an agreement on this easement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Commissioner Monroe.
With that explanation, I certainly have no problem with granting an easement, but I just think that the company ought to pay the cost. It might not be that much, but since we don't know, I'd move to postpone until the next commission meeting so that, let's see, it may be better to send it back.
Have a motion to postpone until the next meeting
Yeah.
by Commissioner Monroe. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Miller seconds. Pending motion is to postpone the adoption or postpone this item of business until the next meeting. Discussion on the motion to postpone.
All I'm wanting to do with this is just make sure that, I just see how much it costs and ask that the taxpayers being reimbursed for that review process. It may not be that much money, but I don't think, unless there, we always hear that we got to do it and we got to do it now. But I just think that it would be good, and if the better motion would be to send it back to the budget committee, or just
The pending
omit.
motion is to postpone. We're
Right, I
discussing
understand.
motion
I'm just
postpone.
saying, if there would be a better motion, I'm amicable to that, but maybe just find out how much it costs so that we can amend it to be reimbursed for that cost. Thank you.
Commissioner Miller, you're recognized on the motion to postpone. Mayor Mitchell, do you wish to speak on the motion? I saw your light come on.
I'll get the cost, whatever the cost was for the attorney, and we will bill Atmos Energy for that cost, for any cost that was accrued by the county.
Right now, the pending motion on the floor is a motion to postpone. If it's postponed, then it will be taken up the next meeting. If it fails, some other motion can be brought forward. Pending motion is the motion to postpone action on this item until the next regular meeting. If you're in favor of postponement, vote yes. If you're not in favor of postponement, vote no. I've forgotten you, Mr. Cole, but I'd already put the question, to the body.
5 yes, 14 no, 2 absent.
5 yes, 14 no. Motion to postpone fails. The pending motion is to adopt 1602-004. Commissioner Monroe, you're recognized for the second time on the main motion.
Would the mayor renew his commitment to that? Would you please, you agree to commit to that?
Well, let's one moment. So the rest of the body on this side can understand, please state specifically what you're asking.
Okay, a minute ago, the mayor said that he would bill Atmos for that. That there is the possibility that they could decline to pay us, but so I just want to know if the mayor will agree to commit to that. Thank you.
Commissioner Carver, you're recognized on the main motion.
Could the representative for Atmos Energy be recognized to speak?
Yes, if you'll come forward, sir, and introduce yourself. Commissioner Carver, do you have a question?
Just you want to answer Commissioner Monroe's question, or if you had a
Yes.
statement you wanted to make about that.
Yes, I'll be
Okay,
glad
you're
to. I'm
recognized.
Tony Hughes with Atmos Energy. We will reimburse the county for the attorney's review of the easement that we had submitted.
Thank you, sir. I think we've set a precedent here tonight, though, and I caution all the members. Thank you. Commissioner Caskey, you're recognized on the main motion.
That was mine I was going to ask, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Are the members ready for the question? The pending motion is to adopt 1602-004. If you're in favor of adoption, vote yes. If you're opposed to adoption, vote no.
Yes, 0 no, 2 absent.
19 yes, 0 no. The resolution's adopted. That completes new business. We now move to item G, announcements and statements. Seeing no lights, the next item of business is item H, public input on items not on the agenda. If you'll come forward, sir, introduce yourself. I believe that's the Honorable Tom Taylor, Mayor of Maryville.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, I'm here to give an announcement on a save the date. And I want you to, on your calendars, mark Wednesday, March 9th at 4 p.m. For a meeting at the Maryville Municipal Building. We have received a request by Department of Transportation Commissioner John Schroer to meet with the legislative bodies located within Blount County, and at that meeting he wants to discuss the challenges we are facing in the future of the transportation infrastructure, namely the roads in Blount County. Currently the Commissioner has 181 projects backlogged because there's not enough money. If you do the simple math, that's a little bit less than 2 per county of the 95 counties. However, on the schedule he has of backlog projects that he's willing to give immediate access to are 8 in Blount County. So we are potentially getting a little bit more than our share of these projects. And the total amount that we need or that would be expended on these 8 projects is just slightly less than $225 million. And we really do need this money to complete the roads in Blount County. We're getting a lot of new industry in, we're having a lot of people move in, and I don't have to tell you what it's like at 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Friday afternoon on any of the roads and streets in Blount County. Commissioner Schroer is a former mayor. He is a very gregarious man, and he likes attention. And so I am asking that you attend this meeting as a show of support for the projects that he has listed. This is a way that we can almost guarantee that when the money is released, that it does come to Blount County, and we desperately need it. You are invited, and I will be sending out emails to all of you, and also the legislative bodies of Maryville, Alcoa, Townsend, Louisville, Rockford, and Friendsville will be included too. So I hope you can come, and I'll remind you again. And as I say, the commissioner is a very social and political animal, and the more we can pay attention to him and make him feel welcome and show him the cooperation that we have here in Blount County, the more likely we are to get the money. His mantra seems to be he funds where there's very little adversity. If he sees a show of support within the community, he is much more likely to fund the projects. So, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always good to address the commission. It's at 4 o'clock, and it's not a great time. You know, Wednesday 4 o'clock is not great, but that's when he wants to meet. So, it isn't like we have a lot of choice here.
Gentlemen's time's expired. Does anyone else wish to address the commission? Seeing no hands, we'll move to item I, adjournment. Without objection, hearing no objection, we are adjourned.